Oh, one day the guy who was sitting was surprisingly sitting, and there was an egg underneath him. It began to hatch one day, and it decided to crack open to reveal a ball of light. It started glowing more furiously, and it became a Pidgey yacht. It had no moves, and it exploded, and then there were 5 guys and a golem. Not nearly as catchy as the image I'd want to know. We are going to skip the long intro today, and we're just going to go for the battle thing. This is 5 Guys and a 5 Guys and a Golem versus 5 Guys and a Grumpig, because, yeah, that needed to be done. And eventually I will battle in BZ with my 5 Guys and a Golem versus the original team that it is a parody of. So he's going to lead off with his Swampert, which kind of confused me because I kind of thought the point of the whole 5 Guys and a thing was to lead with the guy, not the guys, but whatever. I don't suppose it matters. I mean, it's not like Nubs ever followed that rule thing. It's just, you know, since Stealth Rocks, and you tend to lead with the thing with Stealth Rocks and stuff and stuff and stuff. So we both set up Stealth Rocks, which is typical because who wouldn't? Here we go with the Scald, and it's not going to kill me, but I'm going to go for an Earthquake, possibly, maybe, sort of, kind of, yeah. And then I'm going to follow that up with a Sucker Punch after getting a crit, which, crits are good for people who want them, but it's not like anybody ever does want them unless it's on their end to them, but, you know, whatever. So I am going to Sucker Punch now and die next turn, because that is what Golem does. It comes in, does some stuff, and then it dies. So he gets a revenge crit, which totally mattered. I would have lived otherwise, clearly, because, you know, it didn't already one-shot me once. But now Swampert is doing a dance, and I'm going to eventually replace the Pokemon that just fainted with another Pokemon, and I don't exactly know what I'm going to do, so I'm going to bring out my Togekiss, and this part kind of makes me a little worthy, but I go for an Aerial Ace and he freaking lives, so he's gonna Ice Beam me, and I'm like, okay, so he's gonna die next turn, right? Because, I mean, it's just, it should die next turn because I'm Togekiss. So I go for Aerial Ace, and he dies, and I'm just like, okay, at least that thing died this time, because I would have been very upset if it didn't die. And I just, I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing that. But here we go. Out comes the Cryogonal, and I am going to go for the extreme speed because I know these things are fast, and I miss. That's the first miss, so let's go ahead and count the rest of them. So I'm going to go for another extreme speed here because it'll do a lot of damage with Hustle and the fact that Cryogonal has like paper thin defense and everything. So here we go. Going to go for the extreme speed again and miss. God, I just love moves. That's honestly, I just, So I'm gonna lose my Togekiss to an Ice Beam, which Cryogonal should be dead by now, but no, it's just gonna live. So I'm gonna bring out my Hit My Knee because I know that I just want to get some damage on this thing because it's making me rage and kill and press buttons on the DS to get it to do stuff. Well, actually, I'm using my mouse to control most of the game anyway, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to go for that normal gym fake out and get my Unburden boost and also severely weaken this Ice Barrier Cryogonal because it is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference. But now it's going to die to a Blaze Kick, and the only reason I have Blaze Kick is because, honestly, Hitmonlee doesn't really get that many good moves. I mean, there's Sucker Punch, but the idea is you're going to be faster anyways, so why bother with it? Now then, out comes Grumpig, and I really don't have anything better to do, so I'm just going to stay in here and go for a Stone Edge, and I surprisingly hit, despite the fact that Extreme Speed missed 2 times thanks to Hustle. He's going to Zen Headbutt me, and he's going to take me out because, yeah, most Hitmonlees are dying in 1 hit. Especially when it's a super effective stab hit, even though I don't think physical is the best set for Grumpig, but to each his or her own. Going to bring out McManager now because he told me he was banded, and if you generally want to catch people off guard, you don't tell them what your sets are. I mean, you know, it's kind of a common thing, I guess. So McManager is just going to start telling people what to do. He's like, you are going to die because you are useless. And down goes the Beautifly because it is useless. I mean, it's a good thing that McBoss and McManager can get their boundaries across because they tend to do a lot of time and overtime and, well, at least for McManager, his wife is all up at home and upset and everything, but since McBoss is still female because for whatever reason NBZ is too lazy to go click into things on Pokesave. And now I'm going to take an Aqua Jet from this Basculin, and he is going to do a lot thanks to adaptability and everything, so I figure he'll go for another Aqua Jet and I'm just going to die because that's how it tends to go with things that are really not that bulky, because if it was Seraphim, I think Seraphim has a little more bulk, but since it's the effing woman, I mean, you can't get much better than that. Also, I could have done an NBZ impression for this video, but honestly, I only want to do it for the initial one, but hey, whatever. It doesn't matter. This team is awful competitively, but against other teams that are made to be like it, it does okay sometimes. So I'm going to go out to Queen Elizabeth and going to go for that Earth Power, because I figured he was just going to go for the Aqua Jet, but he decides to just die because he didn't want to go for the Aqua Jet, and also should have gone for Thunderbolt so he couldn't do what he's about to do, and that is bring in his Togekiss of his own, because everybody has to have Togekiss on their teams, especially when it's not OU. Because, you know, in OU you have Jirachi, and Jirachi's unoriginal and stupid and stuff, but honestly, Jirachi's not that big of a deal. Although it does kind of make me a little upset when I have a Pokemon out and then they get a crit on the first turn for no reason. He's going to miss a Double Edge, which is just like revenge hacks, because honestly, I should have hit those extreme speeds. And I'm going to go for Dark Pulse because I don't want to miss Fire Blast. And now he's going to actually hit his Double Edge because for whatever reason his Togekiss loves him more or something, I guess. His is also banded, but, you know, extreme speed from a banded Hustle Togekiss is going to do a lot of damage if it hits. And that's the key word there. So I'm going to go out to Elizabeth again. And I figured since I'd already uploaded the original 5 Guys and a Golem video that Nagi would know that I'm scarfed, but thankfully he didn't know that, so I'm going to go for Thunderbolt and finish him off, which is good, because Togekiss is annoying when mine was missing all its moves, so the fact that he died is good because I wanted him to, because of revenge and stuff. So out comes the Grumpig again, and I've only got this left, I think. I can't honestly remember too well because I didn't watch the video through before actually narrating it. So basically I'm going to Thunderbolt and he is going to Zen Headbutt but miss. And if you want to get technical, yeah, that's dumb hacks, but on the other hand, I did miss 2 extreme speeds and it cost me my Togekiss. And Cryogonal should have died, and I should have at least had a low health Togekiss to go with, so I would have been able to get at least one more hit off. And as you can see, his Zen Headbutt's not going to do enough to kill me, but I'm going to be able to finish him off. Wait, he's not banded? He's leftovers. What? Why am I thinking he's banded? Oh, whatever. Never mind. Look at me. I can read items. So I'm going to finish him off with my last Thunderbolt here, and that will be the game. 5 Guys and a Golem is superior to 5 Guys and a Grumpig, apparently, or something. I don't know. And that's good and good and good and good. Now I gotta go record an intro and draw stuff, unfortunately.